Hello, everyone, and welcome back to our fourth episode around the NFL. Today, I am here with Frank and Nam once again. Guys, how about we get started? All right. Some of the Giants, they are shockingly 5-1, maybe the surprise of the year so far. Guys, is it the coaching? Is it Saquon Barkley? Is it Daniel Jones? Who is making the Giants a real team?
I really think it's the coaching. The new coaching staff, Coach the Ball, I think his name is.
Yeah,
I feel like it's the place. It's got to be because it's like every single year they haven't really changed much, and with the wide receivers getting hurt, I just think the coaching has helped a lot for the Giants' offense and the defense in total.
absolutely.
That's what I think it is.
Yeah,
Yeah, I second that too. I think the coaching, Brian Daypole, has been amazing. And every year the Giants receivers seem to go down, so he's just managed to overcome that and actually get numbers out of Daniel Jones. He's been really good.
Yeah.
Saquon has been really good, just the
Yeah.
whole team in general.
yeah. And of course, we all know they just beat the Ravens last week, and that was a surprise for a ton of people. Even though the Giants were 4-1 at the time, it just seems like the Ravens were going to take that because they were playing as one of the best 3-2 teams in the NFL at the time. But I feel like the Ravens, they are starting off games so well, and then but problem with the team is that they just can't finish it. Like Lamar's throwing interceptions, they're fumbling. And the coaching there, like, it just hasn't been that great recently. And I feel like that's why they're suffering a lot.
Yeah, they started off so hot. They should have beat Miami, Buffalo, and the Giants. I don't know whether it's coaching or just they can't make the plays at the end of the game, but their defense seems to fall apart too.
Yeah.
Allowing all those comebacks. They just got to figure out what they're doing wrong. I think they should run the ball more too, also because they're down a couple of receivers. They're down Bateman. They just signed Deshaun Jackson, so they just got to keep running the ball and continuing to build the lead that they have in those games and just
Right.
and limit the turnovers as well.
Yeah.
I know Lamar has been playing really well. I just think they got to keep running it, getting out of the pocket.
Yeah.
As long as Lamar keeps doing his thing, the Ravens, I think, should be fine. And Mark Andrews keeps playing well.
Yeah.
And then I think the Ravens are good because I know those two have a really good connection with each other. But we just got to see what happens.
Yeah. Mark Andrews is the number one target for, like, the Ravens receivers, tight ends on that team. I mean, Rashad Bateman, he is, like, their number one receiver, but Mark Andrews is getting the ball most of the time. They're relying on him a lot, which could mean that teams could be putting double coverage on Mark Andrews, which could leave Rashad Bateman open, so it's like that could play a factor as well in a little bit why the Ravens are suffering at the end of the games.
Yeah.
Because people are starting to figure that offense out eventually, because they keep running the same thing,
And they have to figure out what they want to do with the running back situation too, because they have J.K. Dobbins coming back. Kenyon Drake had a really good game, and
Yeah.
they still have Gus Edwards coming back from injury too. So I don't know if they want to do a three-headed monster running back or just focus on one primary guy.
Yeah, we'll find out. So we are going to get to our second topic of the day. The Pittsburgh Steelers beat the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, but at what price? Kenny Pickett is now in concussion protocol. When will he be back? They're saying 2 weeks. That's what I heard, at least, unless something changed as of today. But the Buccaneers, their offense just really hasn't been clicking this year. Tom, he's getting older as these years go by. I feel like this could very well be his last season in the NFL. But, I mean, we're not really sure. It's Tom Brady. You never know what he's going to do. But how about this, guys?
Well, I think the Steelers played great. They did everything they could. Pickens had a great game. Claypool had a great game.
Yeah.
Najee had a good game. But I think it's more on Tampa's side because Tom Brady can't really get anything to go with the receivers. Mike Evans struggled getting the ball. Godwin had a good game, but they struggled getting Gage involved,
Yeah.
and they struggled getting Julio healthy. I think the main thing is, though, that they miss Gronk.
Yeah.
Because Gronk has always been that reliable guy there for Tom on those third downs. And just Cameron Brate isn't cutting it, and they just need to figure out how to adapt.
Yeah. I agree.
I know the Steelers defense played amazing against Tom Brady. I know Tom Brady was getting mad at his offensive line.
Oh, yeah, I saw that.
So I know like they probably had a lot of pressure on him, messed up his throws, which is important obviously against any quarterback.
Yeah.
But I mean, we got to just see. I think the Buccaneers are going to bounce back because like their team is just so good. They're
Yeah.
so good on paper.
Yeah.
It's just Mitchell Trubisky played amazing too. He came in, he went like 8 for 11, threw a touchdown I think, and then won the game for him. So we got to see who's going to start too in the future for them.
Right. And like Nando said, they got pressure on Tom Brady, Pittsburgh's D-line. And, that was without T.J. Watt, who is their main pass rusher on that team. I mean, he almost broke the sack record, So that was definitely a really great point.
And
Is he coming back this season?
I believe it's this week, yeah.
Okay.
I want to say it's this week.
yeah, I think it's either this week or next week.
Yeah.
It's going to be huge for them.
Oh, definitely. I think that definitely changes the game for them, like on their defense,
Mhm.
and especially with Minka back there as well. We've talked over him in past episodes.
Yeah, and I think I heard a report that Steelers might be looking to trade Chase Claypool.
Oh, wow.
Potentially to the Packers, so I don't know if that'll turn out. Personally, I don't think they should do it, but if they want to get draft picks or just swap players, I think
Yeah.
it'd be a great move for Green Bay.
Yeah, we'll see what happens there.
I think the Steelers have the sack leader too. Somebody on the defense. I think one of their players is like the most has the most sacks in the league right now too, which is actually impressive.
Oh, really?
A lot there.
I did not know
I
that.
forget his name. I think it's Highsmith or something like that. Maybe I could be wrong about that. But
I think their linebacker is Alex Highsmith. I could be wrong though, but
All right.
they've been doing really good without TJ Watt.
Pittsburgh fans, let us know in the comments if we're wrong. We definitely want to know the truth. If we are right, also let us know. So we are going to get to our third topic of the day. This is a pretty controversial topic. Who is playing better in the NFL? Is it Buffalo or is it Philly? Nanda?
So I do think it's Buffalo. I think the Bills are putting up more points. They look like the better team, and they have played better teams. The Eagles are right there with them.
Yeah.
People at the Eagles 1, the Bills 2, Bills 1, Eagles 2. It all depends on what you prefer. I just think Josh Allen has looked unstoppable. MVP type numbers, most passing yards in the league. He's got Diggs, Davis, and the Bills defense is phenomenal too, even with their safeties getting hurt throughout the year. But I just can't see Josh Allen slowing down. Even though Jalen Hurts is playing really good, I just think Josh Allen is in the league of his own.
Yeah.
I think everyone should be starting to give Jalen Hurts a little more credit here because he definitely deserves it. He knocked off your Cowboys, and they are 6-0.
Yeah.
Now, whether you want to say the Bills played the better teams, I think they did.
They
obviously.
did, yes.
But the Eagles are the one that are 6-0, and they're looking like the team to beat right now in all of the NFL.
Yeah.
They are unstoppable at receiving. They have A.J. Brown, Devontae Smith, Dallas Goedert. Their run game looks really good. Their O-line looks really good. Their defensive line looks really good.
Mm.
And you can't forget about their corners, Slay and
Bradbury.
Bradbury, yeah. But they're just looking like a complete team right now.
Yeah. So I have to say the Bills. And not because I hate the Eagles. I mean, I do hate the Eagles. But I think the Bills are the better team. Just because of the reason that Frank told us all that Philly has played worse teams than Buffalo has. And Buffalo is playing these better teams and still they're able to like shut them out or beat them by more than 20 points.
Mhm.
Even if it's like, well, their closest game was the Chiefs that they won.
Mhm.
I mean, of course, they lost to the Dolphins when Tua was there.
Yeah.
But their closest game that they won was only 4 points. The rest of the games, if you take a look at their schedule, they've beaten these teams by more than like 15 points every single game. Jalen Hurts, I do agree, he deserves a lot more credit. I think he is playing phenomenal this season. The Eagles definitely, in my opinion, have a shot to go to the Super Bowl. And then we'll see. I mean, Super Bowl very well could be Buffalo and Philly.
Well, if you guys think the Bills are the best team, who do you think the second best team is? Do you think the Eagles are right behind them?
Yeah, I believe the Eagles are probably right behind them. Nando?
I think you got to say the Eagles are like the Chiefs, one of the two, because the Chiefs are always just going to be good with
Yeah.
Mahomes, but it just depends. Because if the Eagles like lose a game or two, everybody's going to start thinking were they just frauds, like you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But
Mhm.
we'll see what happens.
Yeah, we'll see. I mean, they did beat the Vikings. I'll give them that. And they beat the Cowboys. At a point in that game, they were up 20-3. So it was a beatdown, to say the least. But yeah. So the Bills, their receiving core is great. Philly's receiving core is great. Like, I just want to see these two teams play. Like, in the regular season. Just to see, at their full power, who will win?
I think
Team versus team.
the Eagles will beat them. I just think Josh Allen has shown a great ability this season, but I just don't think he would be able to beat the Eagles because I think the Bills' defense wouldn't be able to get stops for that Eagles offense. I mean, they'd probably run the ball down their throats. They'd probably they're still out Tre'Davious White. The Bills are their best corner, so they'd probably move the ball throwing to A.J. Brown and Devontae Smith.
Yeah.
I just think the Eagles would probably beat them. It'd be a very close game, though.
Yeah.
See, just the Bills overall, just like with Josh Allen being able to run the ball, just Singletary getting like out in the flat and
Yeah.
like being able to catch the balls too. It's just they have so much firepower on that offense. It's
Yeah.
ridiculous
Yeah.
to me. And like if they could beat the Chiefs, because I think the Chiefs have like a better offense than the Eagles, but Eagles have a better overall team. Like their defense is really good in my mind. But like if the Bills could beat the Chiefs, I could see the Bills beating anyone. Like especially on like a primetime game against the Chiefs and everything.
I mean, I could see the Bills beating them, but I just think like I said, defense, like the offense would be too much, and then also the pass rush when you have Fletcher Cox and Brandon Graham and everyone else who the Eagles have. I think they'll just be able to get pressure, consistent pressure on Josh Allen, force him to get out of the pocket, and they'll just make more plays. I just think.
Yeah. You see, both of these quarterbacks are mobile.
Mhm.
Both of them can run really well. I just think Buffalo would take it just because Philly hasn't seen anything like Buffalo this season. And they won't the entire rest of the season. If you look at their schedule, like I'll give them a lot of the credit. I mean, they are just playing well. But if you look at their schedule, they're not playing a team anywhere like the Bills. And I just think they're going to be stunned if they end up going to the Super Bowl to play what could be the Bills. So, definitely Super Bowl odds right now. But, so the last thing we are going to do for you guys today, once again, we are going to give you our game picks for this week of the NFL season. Nando, if you don't mind starting us off.
So the game we have for Thursday night, as of tonight too, is the Saints and Cardinals.
All right. I'm gonna go Cardinals because D Hop is back. Andy Dalton is starting, and they just picked up Robbie Anderson. The Cardinals did too. So
Yeah.
I just think they're gonna be too much for that Saints defense, and they're not gonna be able to score points because Michael Thomas is out still. Jarvis Landry's still out. So they're out a lot of players on offense. So I think the Cardinals will get to beat them.
I think the Cardinals are hit or miss. I think 1 week they could be really, really good, and the next week they could lose to a team like the Texans. But I'm gonna take the Saints. I know they're dealing with a lot of injuries, but I think they're still the better team no matter what. I know DeAndre Hopkins is back, which probably will play an effect, but I feel like DeAndre is going to be a little rusty tonight. So, the Saints, pretty close.
I do think the Cardinals are gonna win. I just think they have just the better team right now, just because of the injuries, obviously. Just hope Kyler isn't worried about Call of Duty and like isn't on it at all. But yeah, I do think the Cardinals are gonna win this game. There's not much else to it.
Yeah.
So we have the Browns and the Ravens next.
I'm gonna go Ravens. Hopefully they don't blow this lead, but I think they're gonna be up big against
Yeah.
the Browns. I don't know if Bateman's coming back, but they did get Sean Jackson, so he'll help down the field. I think it'll be closer because division rival. They're gonna be good. They know each other, how they play, the styles.
Yeah.
I think probably like a 5 to 6 point game Ravens I'd go, but I don't know what the Ravens are gonna do for the running back situation, like as we discussed earlier. Do they want to lean to J.K. Dobbins, their star back, or they want to
Yeah.
just do a multi-purpose backfield?
Yeah, we'll see. I'm going to take the Ravens. I think they're definitely going to bounce back from last week against the Giants, which, I mean, these games they shouldn't be losing, but they are. And I feel like they are going to finish out this game. I think the lead on the Browns is going to be too much for the Ravens to choke once again. So I think the Ravens will take it pretty big.
I have the Browns winning.
Wow.
Whether you think it's an upset or not, I just feel like the Browns overall are going to be enough for to beat the Ravens. I think the Browns' run game is going to just like the Ravens are not going to be able to stop them. The Browns are just going to destroy them this game. And we got to see how Mark Andrews does, because I know like he got like a rest day or something, or like another player did too. Like we just got to see how they do. We have the Bucks and the Panthers.
I think this is gonna be an easy one. Buccaneers. I think PJ Walker is starting for the Panthers. He's okay backup. He's nothing special, but they just got rid of Robbie Anderson.
Yeah.
They might get rid of Christian McCaffrey. It looks like the Panthers are gonna go into rebuild mode.
Yeah.
I don't know what they're gonna do with DJ Moore, but I just don't think there's any way they could win this. I know we said we didn't think Tampa was gonna lose to the Steelers last week, but I think they're gonna pull it out. They have the much better roster and much better defense and offense as well. I just think they're gonna get the win.
Yeah. I think the Panthers are in a really tough position here. So I'm going to take Tampa by a lot. I think that's definitely the safe pick. But, I mean, we'll see what happens. Christian McCaffrey's still there. DJ Moore's still there at the moment. We'll see how PJ Walker plays.
I think the Buccaneers are going to win too. I mean, I think everybody's going to have the Bucks mostly this week, just because the quarterback situation is so important. But I just think the Buccaneers are going to have too much firepower on offense. It just comes down to that. And the Panthers aren't going to be able to do enough with their weapons.
Yeah.
So we got the Falcons and the Bengals.
I'm going to say Falcons upset. I know the Bengals won last week against the Saints, but they beat a very banged-up Saints team who were missing a lot of players, a lot of key players. And the Falcons looked really good last week against the 49ers. Marcus Mariota didn't have to throw that much, but they ran the ball very good, and their defense made a lot of plays. So I think they're going to keep that up and get the win.
The Falcons have a lot of momentum, which is exactly why I'm going to agree with Frank and take them. Cincinnati did just win last week as well. But I just think that the Falcons, after beating a better team, have a lot of momentum going into this week, so I'm also going to take the upset.
I'm going to take the Bengals. I was thinking about it. I just think the Bengals are going to play really well against the Falcons. I just think the Bengals really wide receivers going to step up this week. T. Higgins and Jamar Chase are going to play well. And I just think since they're going to play well, the Falcons are going to be able to keep up with their offense, and the Bengals win it. Next, we have the Lions at the Cowboys.
You want to go first, Jake?
I'll go first. I think the Cowboys are going to bounce back, and I think they're going to win this week. Dak Prescott's coming back. Yeah, he's going to be rusty. Cooper Rush played very well in his stretch of games, but it's time for the Dak attack to come back. And he's going to beat the Lions. His first game back, comeback player of the year. We'll see, but I think the Cowboys will win.
See, the Lions are on a bye, so I think they actually have a chance to upset because teams do a lot better in prepping on a bye. They get a lot of players back, such as DeAndre Swift,
Yeah.
such as other receivers they've been missing. I don't know if Amon-Ra St. Brown has been playing, but I know he wasn't fully healthy, so he gets another week to rest.
Yeah.
I think the defense gets another week to rest because they have not been playing good, but I just think somehow the Lions are going to find a way to upset and spoil Dak's return.
Wow.
I think the Cowboys are going to win too. I think Dak's going to come out playing well. And like the Cowboys are going to be the same old Cowboys, just how Cooper Rush was playing with them.
Yep.
And Dak might even play even better. He's going to come back and show everybody why he got paid all that money, show why he's a starter quarterback.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I wonder how the Cowboys offense will do because I don't know if they're going to want to throw more or just run more, get Dak more like into the offense, more fluent and like more like just a passing attack, or do
Right.
they want to try to run the ball on Dallas? We'll have to see because I know Cooper Rush, they've been doing more run heavy
Yeah.
scenarios, stuff like that.
And actually, Jerry Jones said they're going to stick with the Cooper Rush-led offense, and they're going to keep running that game plan because what they were doing was working because Cooper Rush was winning these games. And, I mean, you can cherish the defense all you want. I mean, yeah, they're top 5 in the league right now. But, yeah.
Okay. The next game we have is the Giants at the Jaguars.
I'm going to run the Giants train. I think they're going to go 6-1. I didn't think they're going to beat the Ravens last week, but I think they're going to beat the Jaguars this week. Just the Jaguars looked really promising to start the season, but I think they're falling back down to earth. And I just think the Giants have the better roster, the better players, and I think they have the better coaching as well. So I think that's going to make a difference.
Yeah.
I think it's going to be really close though. I think either team can win it. I'm just going to go Giants slightly by a couple points.
Yeah. I do not believe the Giants are going to lose to the Jags. They've beaten better teams like the Ravens. So I wouldn't expect the Giants to lose. But, I mean, we'll see what happens. I'm going to take the Giants because of Saquon, but that's about it.
I'm going to take the Giants too. I can't see them losing to Jacksonville.
Yeah.
Like exactly like what you said. They've beaten better teams. And I just think Daniel Jones is going to play well. Saquon's going to play well. And they're just going to win. I think it is going to be a close one, though.
Yeah?
Next, we have the Packers at Commanders.
I think this is going to be an easy one. I think the Packers are going to bounce back finally. That's also because Carson Wentz is out a couple weeks, so they have Taylor Heineke playing. We don't know how Washington's going to really look on the offensive side. They're still out Chase Young.
Yeah.
So I think, I don't know if it's going to be a really close game, but I think the Packers are just going to find a way to bounce back, get the win. But I'm curious to see how the Packers offense is going to do.
Yeah. I'll take the Packers by a lot. I think Washington kind of stinks, not gonna lie. But I don't think the Packers offense is that great either, but it should be enough to get them past Washington. Aaron Jones, A.J. Dillon.
So I have the Commanders winning.
Oh.
So, and the reason is because last week the Packers, Coach LaFleur, however you
Matt
say it,
LaFleur, yeah.
and Rodgers are going at each other.
Yeah.
They're arguing. So I don't think the offense is going to play well. I just feel like the Commanders are going to play well. Like Heineke was a good quarterback, if you remember. Like when he got that extension, like he wasn't bad. So I know he could win the game too for them.
I mean, that was last year, but yeah, I mean, I can see that. Also because the Packers are losing Randall Cobb, he's out. But
Yeah.
I just think they're going to be able to actually run the ball and use Aaron Jones like they should have been using him the whole year.
Yeah. It'll be tough to run on their D-line even without Chase Young. I mean, they're still really good.
Yeah, I think they got like Jonathan Allen. And
Yeah.
Like Cameron Payne is his name?
Duron Payne,
Duron
yeah.
Payne. That's it. So next game is the Colts at Titans.
I don't know if Jonathan Taylor is playing, but if he plays, I will take the Colts. If not, I'm going to go with the Titans. I don't know if he's a game time decision, but the Colts actually looked pretty good last week when they came back and beat Jacksonville, which I don't think many people thought that was going to happen.
Yeah.
Matt Ryan, Michael Pittman connection looked really good.
Yeah.
For who are they playing in the Colts? They're playing
The Titans.
the Titans. So Derrick Henry, I haven't heard much about Derrick Henry this year. I
Yeah.
don't know if it's been the offense kind of just dwindling because they lost A.J. Brown and
Yeah.
their rookie receiver got hurt. But they still have Robert Woods and a couple other pieces. But I just think if Jonathan Taylor's in there, Colts are going to win.
I think the Titans are going to win. I think Derrick Henry's just going to run all over that Colts defense. I think he's going to have an excellent day. Whether Jonathan Taylor is back or not, I don't think that changes the fact that the Colts, I mean, yeah, they beat the Jags. They're still not playing well. I think the Titans will take this one just by a little bit.
I'm gonna take the Colts. I think Matt Ryan has been playing well for his 15th season, I think, in the league.
Yeah.
I know he's second in passing yards too in the league too. So I just think Matt Ryan's gonna keep the hot streak, and I think he's just gonna find the open targets, and the Colts are gonna win.
Yeah.
Next game is the Texans at the Raiders.
This one's tough, but I'm going to take the Raiders just because of what they have on the offensive side of the ball. I think Devontae Adams, Darren Waller, Josh Jacobs, I think those guys should be good enough to beat the Texans.
So the Raiders have been really rocky, and so have the Texans. But I'm actually going to take the Texans upset.
Wow.
I think Dameon Pierce has been amazing this year, and they still have a couple good receivers. I can't name them off the top of my head, but Davis Mills is going to upset the Raiders. Everyone thinks the Raiders are going to win, but they've been rocky. They lost Darren Waller, Devontae Adams. I don't know if he's going to get suspended or not. I just think the Texans are going to find a way to pull this out with their running game.
I think the Raiders are gonna win. I just think they just look better. I just think that's all it comes down to. The Raiders just look like the better team. Derek Carr is just going to play well against that Texans defense, too, I think. Even though Derek Stingley has looked good, too. I know he's playing. At least I think he is. We got the Jets at the Broncos.
Go ahead, Nando.
It's kind of hard not to take the Jets right now with how they are playing. 3 wins in a row. Quentin Williams is coming off the best game of his career, too. Special teams looked good, and we know how Russell Wilson has been playing. So it's kind of hard It's kind of hard to just say we're gonna take the Broncos when we know how he's been playing. So I think the Jets' running game is gonna play well too again, and I think the Jets are gonna win.
I'm also going to take the Jets. I'm going against Denver. I think they stink. Russell Wilson, we talked about him last week. If you haven't watched that video, go back and watch it now. But I just think the Jets are the better team, which is really weird to say. But Sauce Gardner should have had that pick 6 in the beginning of the game. Last week, he got that taken away from him. But the Jets will take it.
I think everyone has been banging on the Broncos offense, which is rightfully so.
Yeah.
But their defense has been spectacular. I don't know if you guys noticed, but their defense has been averaging only 16 points per game given up.
Wow.
And I think it's going to be a really close battle. I don't know if the offense for the Broncos could pull it out, but if they were going to do it, this needs to be the game.
Yeah.
Or I think Nathaniel Hackett is out of there if they lose this game as well. That's why I'm going to go Broncos. Russell Wilson started 10 for 10 Monday Night Football against the Chargers, and then he went on to pass for, I think it was 70 yards altogether in overtime. But if they can get that rhythm going, I know Russell Wilson was moving. They were throwing the ball deep. They had a good rhythm going in the first quarter. If they can find that and just reuse it against the Jets and gain confidence, I think they're going to win.
Okay, so next we have the Chiefs at Niners.
Chiefs and the Niners. The Niners, that NFC West is underperforming. All of them. The Chiefs will win because they're just really good, even without Tyreek Hill. I mean, there's not much else to say.
I think Chiefs come back as well. I mean, Chiefs revenge game after Buffalo. I think they're pissed off,
Yeah.
and rightfully so.
They'll play mad.
I think they're really mad, about losing Josh Allen. I think Mahomes got a really good game.
Yeah.
But on the other side, I think the 49ers are going to play well also because they lost to Atlanta last week. So
Yeah.
I think it's going to be a high-scoring, close battle. Chiefs will probably sneak it out by a touchdown or a field goal.
I just think the Chiefs are going to win too. Just Mahomes has been playing really good still.
Yeah.
And it's kind of hard to stop that Chiefs offense no matter who you are.
Yeah.
Next we have the Seahawks at the Chargers.
I'm going to go Seahawks upset because the Chargers played overtime against Denver, and they barely sneaked out against Denver and how bad they were playing. I think the Seahawks have been on a tear this year. Geno Smith has looked really good. They simplified the offense. Tyler Lockett and DK have both looked really good. And Kenneth Walker, the third who came in for Rashad Penny, has looked good as well. I just think they're going to put up more points than the Chargers. And also, the thing is, Herbert didn't score a touchdown last week, and I think it was 57 pass attempts.
I think Frank has a really great point. I'm also going to take the upset, Seattle. Geno Smith has actually been playing really well, which is pretty surprising to me. But I don't think many people were seeing that coming from Geno. But, I mean, he has two great receivers around him, Tyler Lockett, DK Metcalf. He's got the weapons. The Chargers are underperforming.
I'm going to take the Seahawks too, but it's because of how J.C. Jackson has played. He has not played up to the standards that they have expected him to play.
Yeah.
Maybe it's because it was the Patriots scheme, but I can't see him guarding DK well. He's probably harder than Jerry Jeudy is.
Yeah.
So if that defense doesn't play well and Geno Smith is finding his targets, I just think the Seahawks are going to score a lot.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I remember J.C. Jackson also got benched last week. They said against the Broncos. I don't know what happened. I know he's still coming back from injury, so he might not be at full health, but that's something to look at. And also Keenan Allen and hamstring injury. He's been out since, I think, week 1 or week 2. He's been out a long time, so
Yeah.
they were definitely missing him on the offense.
So we have Sunday Night Football. It's the Steelers at Dolphins.
Tua's revenge game. I think the Dolphins are going to win. I think it's going to be really, really close. Dolphins just lost their third corner, which was playing the second corner because Brian Jones is still out. The Steelers are out. TJ Watt still. I don't know if he's coming back. They might be out. Kenny Pickett. We'll have to see if he's out. So if he's out, Trubisky will be in. I just think it's going to be a really close game. And Tua is also versing his former head coach, Brian Flores, who is on the Steelers sideline as their linebackers coach. So
Yeah.
Flores knows what Tua likes to do. He's been coaching him. He has coached him for 3 years, I think, 2.5 years, something like that. But I think just the Waddle and Tyreek and Tua connection is going to be too much. And if they get Gesicki going as well, I think the offense is going to be rolling. I think it's going to be a really close game, and it's going to be fun to watch.
Yeah. I think the Dolphins are going to win, but not the way Frank told you. I think the Dolphins are going to kill the Steelers. Tua's coming back. I think he's going to pick up right where he left off. Just scoring 40 points a game. I don't know if he'll put up exactly 40, but I think he's going to pick up where he left off. Their real game plan is back now. Tyreek, he has his number one quarterback back, so.
I think it's finally time for the Dolphins to remind everyone on why they were playing so well in the beginning of the year.
Yeah.
And I know their defense has been struggling, I think. I'm not sure exactly, but I mean, once you get that offense going, the momentum and everything is going to be good for the Dolphins.
Yeah.
Just hope he doesn't get hurt again.
Yeah, hopefully not.
That'll be bad for them. So the Monday Night Football game is the Bears at Patriots.
I'll take the Patriots. I've gone against them the past 2 weeks, and they've won the past 2 weeks. So I'm not going to go against them again. I don't think the Bears' offensive line is good enough to stop the Patriots' defense. I don't think they have anybody too big on the Patriots' defense, but they'll still end up getting sacks.
I'm gonna go Patriots as well. The Bears actually looked really good last week on Thursday Night Football. They looked well coached, but they couldn't score touchdowns. They scored a total, I think, of 7 points or something like that. But they're down the red zone, I think, 4 times. They got 1 touchdown out of it. So, or maybe just a couple field goals, but they got to do a lot better. And Bailey Zappi has looked really good in the absence of Mac Jones.
Yeah.
He looks like he might be able to take over that number 1 quarterback spot, maybe.
Yeah.
I think with Mac Jones coming back, the Patriots are going to look really good. But if Mac Jones plays bad, we never know what might happen with the QB situation. Like they might just want Bailey Zappi back in there to try it out again.
Yeah.
I think the Patriots are going to win. I just think they're not. Justin Fields is going to be able to do a lot, even though he is a threat. I think he is just not throwing enough. But
Yeah.
we will see what happens.
All right. That's going to end our video here for today. I appreciate everyone who watches. If you want, go down, hit the like button, hit the subscribe button if you haven't already. Thank you, Frank. Thank you, Nanda. I ask that you go down, give us your picks for this week. We will read them. We will comment back. Give us some ideas. What do you want us to talk about next week? All right, everybody? Have a good one.